Hey folks, this is Robin Pinkley, and it's just great to see you again. If you're watching this, I know you've already been with me for Master Negotiation 1, and I'm hoping and anticipating I'll see you for Master Negotiation 2. If you were here for Master Negotiation 1, you already know a lot about what I do. You know that my gain-gain approach to master negotiation is really quite distinct from the typical win-win approach. What you know is that I focus on one objective and one objective only, and that is that the only objective in negotiation is what? Maximizing own gain. Is that at the expense of the other party? Is that at the expense of satisfying the other party? Is that at the expense of long-term relationships? No, it's not. What you know is that not only do we have to find ways of giving to get and getting when we give, but what we have to do is what? We have to change their perception of the value of what they get. And therefore, we have to think of two things. One is managing the meaning that they associate with their outcomes. And that is exactly what Master Negotiation 2 is all about. It's about understanding that we can't just focus on the value that people obtain in negotiation. We have to focus on their perceptions of that value, and that means we have to focus on the social aspects of negotiation. That's what we'll do in Master Negotiation 2. We'll think about the other party, we'll think about how they perceive things, and we'll think about how we can relate better to the other party. We're going to look particularly at power in negotiation because in reality, whether we're aware of it or not, power underlies every aspect of every relationship we have. Power is true with our children. It's true with our parents. You know that. But it's also true with your boss, with your direct report. It's true in buyer-seller relationships. It's true in every relationship we have. So it's important that we accurately perceive it. One of the things I've seen is true with every customer I have is that we tend to perceive it inaccurately. So we're going to make sure that when we're in a negotiation, we perceive it accurately. Then we'll pay attention to that so that when you have power in those relationships, you use it in a way that is helpful. In addition, when you don't, we'll make sure that you can figure out how you can either facilitate that relationship anyway and obtain value, or change it so that you do. Beyond power, we're going to look at influence. Influence is the use of power, but beyond that, we'll think about how can you influence relationships even when you don't. We're going to look at the fact that we also use verbal as well as nonverbal skills in our interactions, right? We know for a fact that the way we stand, and beyond our facial expressions, beyond our tone, but even our body language changes the reaction of the other party. But believe it or not, it also changes our own body chemistry, which sends signals to ourselves, which changes, guess what, our outcomes. So we're going to focus on that and teach you about that as well. We're going to look at format. I know that some of you negotiate directly all the time, face-to-face, but you also negotiate through email, you negotiate through Skype, you negotiate over the phone. Guess what? That changes power relationships. It also changes the way that people read the way that you express anger. It changes their interpretation of your message, and it changes power relationships. It changes the outcome. So we're going to talk about when it's appropriate to use different formats in negotiation. We're going to look at lie detection. We're going to look at your ability to detect lying, your ability to use strategy to decrease the probability that the other party will lie. And we're going to also look at how you can manage your own strategies and your preparation so you decrease the probability that you yourself will lie. We're going to look at cultural differences, gender differences, individual differences to see how those things affect negotiation as well. We're going to look at all of these different components so that we can figure out how to more effectively use and focus on social relationships and that feature of negotiation to increase even more our ability to be effective as negotiators. Because that's the point, isn't it? To be effective in our negotiations. I really hope I'll see you. I'd love to see you again. Bye now.